We are live, gentlemen.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Best Damn Gaming Podcast, episode 7, I think that is. We got Magfeed, Roadhog joining us, and Jason once again, and myself, Grepo. So this week we're going to talk about a little bit of gaming, a bit of esports. There's one game that we want to jump into that I was actually quite excited to talk about, actually. Crossover, I guess, from developers or publishers, developers of Halo and Call of Duty that are creating it called Sentinel. And we got a little video to show you guys as well from some gameplay footage, which I thought was pretty cool. The music, very Halo-esque, I would say. But yeah, you'll see, you guys.
Yeah, it's definitely got that. It's definitely got that Halo look to it.
Oh, yes, it does.
Yeah.
Okay. I think three of the four of us haven't seen this yet, so this is all kind of. Oh,
And
they
this is
got.
all in the Unreal 5 engine, so
They brought the mongoose over. My goodness, this does have a. This is definitely Halo esque, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I might get sucked into this.
yeah, that's why I was really curious to see what you guys'
Um,
opinions were. I caught this I think yesterday or something of that sort,
does
and
anybody remember Crisis?
Yep.
Yes.
yes, yeah,
Like, what's literally like Crisis, Halo, and just a dash of COD. Like,
Yeah.
This actually feels a lot like Destiny, though, too.
no, don't you say that. That's completely different flavor.
No, I disagree. It feels very similar, at least what I'm seeing. So,
Damage model is a little different.
well, that's true, but
Damage came over, I would lose. Nope, not. Anything with a damage model close to Division, I am not playing it. 100,000
but you know,
damage per shot.
for the minute and a half that they had, I think it seems kind of promising. It's something that I would try most definitely. Depends what the price point is. That's the one thing.
Very true.
I would buy it just to play it. I
Yeah,
mean, is it coming out on Steam? I'm looking up right now. If
that's
it
something I'm
comes
not
out on
sure
Steam,
because
you just try it out, see what it's like.
Yeah.
yeah,
They're gonna have an
it'll be
open
coming to
beta,
PC. It's not revealed for other platforms yet though, so PC definitely, but other platforms not 100% sure about. So
So
they probably need to get the funding or something for it, or
I'm looking up more info. Pretty much everybody has the same stuff going on.
yeah. I don't know how long ago this has been announced, but I think it's fairly fresh. So they
fresh,
seem like they're
fresh, freshen up.
yeah,
Wait, 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 wait.
Hey.
yeah. There you go, freshen up.
Oh, wait. Are we robots in the game, or are we actually people?
I don't know. It looked like the Destiny characters.
You play as
Sentinel or the Last Sentinel? Game's called Sentinel.
It
Sen-
should be
That's
yeah.
Sentinel.
Sentinel.
Okay.
you play as a space Viking is what they say. Not my words, is their words.
What a night! What a
With the hair coming out the suit somehow.
Sentinel
It's
is a very early development stage right now, according to the devs. It will be a fun sandbox co-op focused experience where you play Space Viking trying to save what's left of humanity.
what?
so Destiny.
Created by Pathless Productions.
Stop it! Stop it with your Destiny reference.
No, it's the same thing.
Stop it!
Well, I mean, did you hear the theme? Did you hear the theme?
I mean, okay. Stop. Damn it.
Had a Halo theme. I don't know.
Alright. GG, you win that one. Just
I-
leave me alone. I
I'm-
mean, it's like. It
You know
still's
what,
got
it's-
Halo feel to. Oh my god. Okay, so if you look at the back of the rifle that he's holding at the beginning there, it's like a night infrared vision sight, but it's not where a sight would be, and you can actually see everything. Like it translates everything, like that's in front of him. Or is that fake? No, that's legit. Actually translating what's in front of him.
Huh.
So the little sight that's on the back, that's got like little infrared. It's
like it has like a heartbeat sensor in a way, kind of.
Well, no, it's literally a pulse. It's a radar. Like it's actually pulsing to what's in front of him. Yeah, there it goes. It pulsed right there at the 54-second mark, I think. No, damn it, 51-second mark, or the 50-second mark. When he's walking into that little environment, you look down at the sight at the back of the rifle. It pulses, and then it shows where everything is, kind of like a Batman radar. That's pretty hot. I like that.
Pretty hot.
Well, yeah. Then after that, jumping into talking about Unreal 5, so seeing a game that utilizes that, I had put a hillside sample video that they released for Unreal 5, which is basically just showing like the graphics that you get in Unreal 5 and stuff, and it's pretty. It's real nice.
It legitimately says become a space Viking.
Yeah, Space Viking.
I'm not even kidding.
yeah. It seems a little.
And then the next clip is him shooting a monster legitimately that looks like it's Destiny. I can't anymore.
Wow.
Jesus. I mean, it's literally Destiny. How's the damage model? Yeah,
Hey.
No, we've moved on.
For you making me want to watch that Super Mario Brothers scene on the piano.
Totally Destiny. The very end at the 131. Oh God, it's Destiny. I'm sorry. I take everything back.
But look at these graphics. Look at that.
These
nice.
hillside looks.
It's
Hillside
like
looks fantastic.
Crisis and Destiny, just like I don't know why they're even mentioning Call of Duty. Where the hell are they getting that? You can't even look down sights. Like you just have a sight permanently in front, like. Work.
I'll have to try it. I'll have to try it.
I'll play it. The only reason why I want to play is because I am really impressed with the sight on the gun. I'm hoping that's not the only gun. Is that the only gun?
It's the only one.
Please tell me there's more.
But I can't wait to see what Unreal 5 is going to be able to bring to the table. Just that, there's developers and how they develop the game there, but I'm talking about the graphics and stuff like that. I'm playing.
Yeah, I mean this hillside looks pretty nice.
That's really what I'm going to be looking for is when you're going in like.
At Montreal,
this is a sandbox shooter, so I don't want. I'm hoping we don't see the same response as to what was that one game EA came out with to compete with Destiny?
Anthem.
Yes, thank you, Anthem. I hope it doesn't turn into like an Anthem thing where it was all buggy and everything. And it was pretty bad buggy. I had a few crashes where I'd just be flying and all of a sudden, I'm like, oh, you just crashed. Yeah, you're crashing. So if they get it right off the rip and there's no bugs, okay. I want to play it just because I'm looking at the site at the 132 mark, and the enemy in front of them is literally red. So it like marks your enemies. So imagine like, does it go dark? That's another thing. If the environment goes nighttime.
Well, the environment, that's what it shows in the video, though. The environment does go nighttime, so. I remember he was fighting.
It's even further.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not too dark. I wanted to go pitch dark. Like in Destiny, remember that at the very beginning, the first raid, like you go up the stairs at the very beginning, old Russia, and you go inside and it's literally dark. You can't see like 5 feet in front of you in game. Y'all remember that at all? That's what I'm talking about. Like where something jumps out at you in the dark and hits you. You know, that's what I.
Well, with those graphics, it definitely should make you shit your pants. I'm pretty sure.
It probably will. With Unreal 5, it probably will.
Yes.
I'll play it. I'll definitely.
Oh yeah, Unreal 5, the horror games is gonna be the best things ever if they can get them, calibrated right and everything like that, But that would be awesome.
Well, we need to see if the sandbox. I think you would be good playing squad. I hope it's just not single player, but I hope it's like open world like Destiny. Oh my god, it even says, "Could this game be a Destiny killer?"
Really? No way.
Like, seriously, to the right on Fandom Wire, it says, "Newly announced FPS, Sentinel. Could this game be a Destiny killer?" They said the same thing about Anthem. Look what happened to it.
Well,
That
Anthem
that was also
Anthem
EA.
was awful.
That was also EA, so... so this, we'll see how this does. When it drops, I'll play it. And I'm hoping, who's the company? Who's the devs?
The
Productions.
yeah, I'm not really familiar with who Pathless Productions is for Sentinel.
Wow, they are new. But they are brand new. Like, their Twitter account is less than 100 followers. They're only at 77 followers. Ooh, they have a YouTube channel. I'm going. Sentinel game demo playthrough. Excuse me? Is this the same thing?
Probably.
No, it's not. You need to go. Wait.
Oh, they have other videos or other.
You need to go to their channel. You need to go to their channel. You need to go to their channel. This is actually the game. Like.
I will do garbage.
Rain effect. Oh, the lighting. I love the lighting of Unreal 5 for real. So dynamic.
Oh, okay. Here, I'll send you the link.
Game demo?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Alright, hold on.
So shooting mechanics pretty nice. It jumps like Halo. You literally jump and you float like Halo. You got infinite grenades. That is okay. Demo, I guess.
Yeah, demo for sure. They're just
Reload animation. Oh. You did not still see those monsters until he turned on his flashlight. I don't like that. Nope. That's gonna cause some problems.
Wait, what time are you at right now? So you can put it around the same time.
Oh, hold on, sorry. 2:48. Yo, if we can play groups on this, like a squad of 4, like ODST, this is gonna be so good. This will be so good.
Oh, in the cave when it's dark. Wow, that's very nice.
He just threw a grenade and the explosion went off and the smoke went all the way up to the roof. Like, it was massive.
That is
I think
epic.
I think we're timed up now pretty well. So
yeah.
Okay.
That is really cool.
Oh wow, the lighting is so good.
So Grepo, how we doing in our tournament? How we doing in our Counter-Strike tournament?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, tonight we have a Counter-Strike match at 10 p.m. We're playing PSI Storm tonight. Team that's 6-6, so gonna be promising. Gonna be promising tonight. Hopefully we can get a W on the board. Last match was really good. So look forward to that.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
Watching that if my game doesn't work.
Most definitely the match we had what was it, a week ago it was a learning experience.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, the thing is you gotta take the wins where they are and the losses, at the same time, and take it on the chin, learn from it, and our team has been doing that throughout the season, even though they've had a lot of unfortunate events that happen, but it's just things that happen, right? There's life and things come up, so some players have to drop out or go pursue other things. So I mean, one of our players, Summy, that we really appreciated, had got an offer a position in the Challengers League. So there's no way that you can't tell a player to stay. You have to be happy for them, let them go, support them. And that's what we try to do as much as we can. So, and this season, it has, as a total, the whole season has been a learning experience. I feel like, we haven't unfortunately made it into the playoffs. I don't think we will make it into the playoffs, but we'll have a decent standing in the season to jump into next season. We have the right people working with as well. Refrag, one of the companies that we're partnered with, that is helping with management with strats and muscle memory and stuff like that. So those are the tools that are really awesome. We had talked about Skybox as well, that we were wanting to get in talks with as well. That they have some really cool stuff going on. So yeah, we're just preparing slowly but surely. The only thing is everybody has to stick together, and that's the hardest part when it comes to CS or any kind of esports, is having a team that sticks together and actually goes through those tough times. Or everybody wants to stick around for the good times, but they can't stick around for when it gets tough. This thing that's unfortunate, but you just roll with the punches, right?
Yes, you do.
Same, talking about, esports and stuff like that. I'd like to jump into something, well, it's talked about a lot this week, is TSM leaves LCS for League of Legends. I know we don't have the biggest League of Legends people watching, but yeah, it was a pretty big upset. I don't think they're leaving North America like as an entirety, but I think they're just leaving the LCS scene, and they even said it because it's such a stale scene, right, and whatnot. So that's kind of hurting for us. Not for us specifically, but the NA scene.
Yeah, well, the NA scene has never been incredibly solid, I would say, anyway. So, especially on the League of Legends side, we really haven't had very many good showings.
I feel like it's odd because like the player base is there, like there's people playing it, people are enjoying it.
Yeah, but they're just not as good as other countries. Korea.
Kind of like how we were in StarCraft in a way.
Yep.
The thing that was crazy is like for us in StarCraft, we had someone that I was thinking about actually this weekend that I haven't brought up in a long time that had recently passed away. There was Jeff Robinson in Control.
In Control.
Yeah. Man, some people's personalities in StarCraft were just amazing. Sometimes they weren't the best players, but man, some people in North America, I would watch them just for their personality and how they were. And I think we need a little bit more of that maybe in the scene, and not just, kind of like what we're going for is basing community things and stuff like that, and kind of more entertainment than always having to go straight on the who's the best, top of the top, cream of the crop all the time. I mean, I don't know. I miss those days of like, I think you kind of miss the in between sometimes. A lot of people go for best of the best or the most entertaining, but sometimes there's like in that in between where the person's, at a pro scene, but he's not the best of the best, but he also has like that good, personality. And in Control, I feel like had that. So I don't know. I miss those days of that. Having a little
looks
more.
like Disguised Toast, the big time, one of the big time Valorant team guys. Looks like he, in wake of TSM dumping out, he is starting up a new team for the NA.
Really?
Really?
So it looks like he's gonna hop in and get that going, and probably take the place of TSM. Whatever team he gets going, he's already asking who's the best players for NA right now and who's FA, and he's trying to cook it up. So
Interesting.
You'll see a new team branch up real fast. That's a closed door, open door type situation.
Yeah, I'm intrigued a little bit because last I knew he was talking about dropping out of Valorant. So.
Well, I don't know if he's gonna drop out of Valorant, but I mean, he's getting in there.
Yeah.
And he's starting with team, to get ready for next season, maybe season after that.
But at the same time, It's always tough. It depends who he gets on his roster and whatnot.
Yeah, that's.
You know, you can get a bunch of
It's always how it
powerhouses,
goes.
but the thing is if they don't get along or the chemistry's not there, then
Dude.
that's one thing.
Chemistry is key.
As we've learned at Zombler's, we've gone through many, many different teams. Not even,
It
you know.
happens. It's how it works. It's gotta fit. If it doesn't fit,
You
it
can
doesn't
have
fit.
you could have the best team that they all get along and they say, hey, we're besties and everything, and it still can crumble. You know, like the
Yeah.
week later you'll still have something that happens, or so it's really tough to take people's like word of mouth for things, because you really have to like see it. You know, like if a team has been together for like 2 years and you're like, okay, maybe, but now I'll believe you. But yeah, it's very tough. It's a tough scene. It really is. But we love it, so.
That's right.
Definitely
It's
see
just-
that. I definitely see that in a lot of the games. I mean, like you all said, I mean, chemistry is so key. I mean, even for my genre as far as with iRacing. I mean, to have a team that just races is one thing, but you got to have that chemistry within the team to work together.
See, like that's the funny thing is you could have someone that talks too much, or you could have someone that talks too little, or it's like you need a fine line in between as well.
Right.
And then it comes does the person have an ego? Is the person impatient? Yada yada. So yeah, definitely chemistry is what comes into it. Comes into factor. And we're lucky we have some really great teams with us and really great people. Talking not only about about Counter-Strike, we talk about Rainbow Six as well, because our team just had a match last night as well. Unfortunately, our team took a loss 2-0, but they've been doing really good in the past couple weeks. I think they were in the semifinals. I am not 100% sure. I think something had happened with a mix-up with the match last night. We had lost 2-0, but now it got reverted to a 2-0 for us, as one of the players I think got caught cheating. So, but now we're in the finals. I guess it's just kind of to me, is a shitty way to be put in the finals. It's like, why couldn't we just play with someone legitimate? But I mean, that's not our choice. That's the guy who decided to cheat.
It was way outside our control. So we got a bye, and it was a lucky bye. So
Yeah.
no one can be mad at that, because if it happened to anybody else in the standings, they.
Yeah,
What do you
exactly.
want us to do?
I mean, it happens that some players get envious of certain teams that are coming up in the tournaments. So obviously they'll do anything to exactly. They'll do anything to get that W, which is unfortunate.
But here's my thing. What are you telling the I can't say young people, because it seems like young people play
The
games all the
new
time.
incoming
Yeah.
players.
There you go. What are you telling the new incoming players that want to learn to play Rainbow Six or other games, Counter-Strike, and then they see that going on, they see the cheating going on. What kind of message is that telling them? Is that telling them that
God, it's telling them
what
to not
esports,
play.
right? Is that saying that esports is all about doing what you have to do anymore? No, it's the skill.
Look,
Yeah.
From an esports game maker, I fully experienced. Like I've already been through this crowd, and then the other part is that I've already been through the IT work. I've been doing that all my life, so I literally already have a way to fix everything, and it's the way that I actually said. I think I said this in a previous episode when I participated in an official tournament at Blockbuster. All of the equipment, all of the controller, everything, all the equipment, everything, minus your headset. But you didn't have one at that time. But I would say
Right.
for these tournaments, to bring your own headset just for sanitary purposes, but you can't have it with a headset. So, but like you walk into a tournament and your team walks into a tournament, everyone should be issued a controller from said tournament, or your keyboard and mouse. You are given the keyboard and mouse said tournament.
Well,
You're
the thing
running
is because
actual
everybody has
anything.
different preferences, but they do have rules in
Don't
place
care.
now at
It's a
certain
tournament.
tournaments. You have to bring it to the tournament in a bag, if I'm not mistaken, and you can't
No.
open up the bag until you
Yeah,
have to
no,
give them the bag, and then after that they look at like your peripherals and stuff, and then they give it back to you in the bag. But yeah, they do
TSA
have
style.
they have like a type of ruling for that now
Oh,
because it's
yeah,
gotten
no,
that bad.
on
with
this
people.
keyboard right here, this Corsair one I've got, it's got a what's called a tournament lock switch. And basically what you do is you flip that switch on, and then it's got literally a physical plastic lock that flips up to protect it from being flipped off. And the keyboard follows like a specific everything, so you can't make any changes.
Oh,
Then
wow.
that's normally how it goes. But I'm sorry, that's not enough. You need to have it to where it was, where tournaments were legitimately done legitimately, where you show up with nothing, the tournament hands you everything. There you go. Have a Merry Christmas. This is a tournament. There are rules. Sorry, not sorry. I don't understand what people don't understand about that. Like, tournaments have rules. Tournaments have standards. These standards must be followed in order to keep it fair.
The
But
thing
no,
is, it's
everybody
like
just blames
online
stuff.
specifically when it comes down to it's so hard to like even
Yeah,
try to
that would
manage
be
that, you
even
know.
easier.
I-
Like, I mean, because then it would just your stuff would get shipped to you. I mean, and everything should get I mean, with online, I understand with COVID, but there's got to be ways to regulate this. This is getting out of hand.
Well, you know, I do see your point, and I'll tell you why. Because even in iRacing, um, you know, there's a lot of the tournaments and a lot of leagues that will not let you use a specific. You know, you can't use your own setup.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you have to use what they have as a setup. Now, do I like that? I'm on the fence with that because, yeah, number one, you're going on a equal playing field,
Mm-hmm.
one setup.
Yep.
But if I can't drive on that setup, I'm
Yeah.
screwed.
Yeah, you're totally screwed. Yeah, that's my point.
But
So-
you know,
So,
you could have, you could have you guys have actually a good point. Actually, what you could do is you can make like official like league hardware, and you can make several of them for different people, right? So you could be like, these are 5 different sets of iRacing or whatever sets like that people could use, and you could use whichever one out of preference, and then start using that. That's like the league official.
that would be definitely that would definitely
fit.
be to a benefit and be a fit, but you get the creators that don't want people to have the choice. They're going to use their team because 9 times out of 10 these people who have leagues also have sports teams. So they get with their team and they come up with one setup for everyone to use.
Fixed race setup, yeah.
Right.
And basically, with these fixed race setups, I've literally experienced this with Formula V. Literally, we'll do a fixed setup. Now, it's based upon the track that you're racing upon, so don't think that you're literally racing the same setup on every single track, because that's not going to work. You will literally, like, it'll work on like 2 out of maybe 20 tracks, and then the rest is set up as straight dumpster fire. It'll throw you into the wall on turn 3 or whatever. Now, having multiple choices that are all league certified, and they limit it to like say 3, because like in Formula 1, granted the car is set to a spec, to a standard, and the teams have to do everything they can to meet said standard, but they can still do adjustments to said car for each track, because they're required to be able to do that. That's part of the skill, like he was talking about.
Right.
But, you know, with the fixed setup races are usually only reserved for the beginners, people that are getting started. So having a multi-setup would actually work better because, like, that works with tire choices. Like, normally like in Formula One racing, there's typically 3 tires for you to choose from, and they require that you do use at least 2 of them. So, depending on if it goes wet. But that would actually work because then I could be like, okay, let me try this setup. Nope, total dumpster.
I don't like that one. Then yeah, you can
Let me
move to
try
the
this
next one.
Oh, this one's actually working for me better. Let me try the third one, just be on, you know, Goldilocks with it. Nah, that's straight dumpster fire too. All right, let me work with this one and get better with it and spend like 30 minutes. So that actually makes perfect sense
that could
for
work.
me. That works real good for me.
But I mean, when it comes jumping back to like the topic when it comes to cheating though, it's something that you can't get rid of though in any kind of gaming. I mean, people just like to piss other people off. I think that's like the biggest thing.
Yeah, it goes back to Batman saying when he was told that there's some men that just want to watch the world burn.
If there's a way that somebody could fuck you over in a game or like waste your time and know they could waste your time, they're gonna do it. You know, as much as they could. It's going back to like that reference, that talking about that World of Warcraft hardcore thing that we talked about last week. Like a big problem with that is the support is having a hard time because like people are just griefing everybody constantly.
Oh my god, yeah, and then you're just losing. Yeah.
Like people literally what they do is they make the same name as like a boss and they'll like stealth in the game so that when you go and like tab target and hit someone, well you hit them and it puts you in a PvP so that they kill you. And it's like, really? Like, people are doing that? And then you have to, like, report it, right? And then after you got to say, I got an issue, yada, yada, yada. And then you have to wait a few days. So it's literally everything just to waste your time. And that's just an example, but, like, people do it in all kinds of different games. And I find that so sad is, like, when gaming gets to that point where, I mean...
When people get bored to that point.
You want to just, you know, you had a long day, you just want to jump in a game of COD or whatever, and then you got a guy cheating, you know, it's like, and it kind of happens in everything, Apex Legends or COD or whatever it is. I've ran into cheaters in every single game that I've played pretty much, so it really is boring. And after that, they pretend like they're not cheating, you know, that's the thing. That's
well, you know,
it's not they're just pretending they're not cheating. What it mainly is the fact that they can't keep up with the people creating software for the cheat, and they're constant. Like these cheaters literally have subscription services that are constantly updated to the patches of the game. So when they release a patch, literally like within hours, you now have.
But isn't it crazy? Not even cheating, griefing and stuff like that. Like people, anything they could do just to like, you know, anything to waste your time.
Well, you know,
exactly.
I brought up this point earlier off the air with Jason, and he just it dumbfounded him, which shocked me because I thought Jason was an answer, you know, man of all answers. But you know, when Meg and I play iRacing or we play ACC, they actually have made anti-cheat software that incorporates into the game. So if anyone was to have anything connected into iRacing or ACC that would cause you to cheat, it shuts you down.
It's tough it's tough to do that in a good way because there's a lot of stuff that could be introduced that's for, you know, some sort of purpose, like a one-off sort of thing that's not cheating, but it's also not recognized by the game, so then it deems you're cheating.
Right.
And so it's, I mean, anti-cheats have been around as long as online gaming's been around for the most part. I mean, I remember back in the COD 1 days, it was Punkbuster.
Oh yeah, Punkbuster for sure.
Yeah, the anti-cheat Punkbuster, and that was what like all the games ran on. It was Punkbuster. And I mean, the thing about that is, at that time, I was also good friends with a guy who made cheats. So, I dabbled a little bit. Got in trouble with Punkbuster a couple times. The way to fix that is you just change your MAC address because they ban you via MAC address. So you just spoof your MAC address to a different one, and then hey, you can play again.
And was that hard to do?
Was that hard to do? No.
Yeah, no.
No,
Okay.
it's not. It's not hard to do. It was. I mean, essentially, it was that, or you just bought yourself another copy. Because for whatever reason, if you introduced a new CD key, it would also kind of unban your MAC address for some reason.
Well, like the example I brought up with Jason earlier is when I first started 7-8 years ago, the big cheat that was out there is somebody actually developed this program in iRacing. Is if you are in, say, like an endurance race or a long lap race where you're going to have to come in and get new gas or new tires, as you're driving, and you look down, you notice that you need gas, you press the hotkey on your keyboard, and it fills up your tank. And you needed new tires, you pressed on another hotkey, and it gave you new tires. And you didn't have to stop in the pits, you just still kept going around, as everyone else had to go into the pit. And the problem is it got caught because actually the person who developed the software actually got caught using it in a big endurance race. I think it was 24 hours at Daytona. He got caught using it. And they were like, wait a minute. They didn't pit for 24 hours. What's going on? They never won the race, which is really funny because they didn't win the race, even though having the cheat software, but they got caught using it.
Fail.
How do you? I think that is probably. I'll be honest though. One of the best feelings though is when someone tries to cheat or something versus you and they're still not good enough to win and you win versus them. Sometimes it's just it's funny but sad at the same time. I don't even know how to explain the feeling is really? Are you serious, dude? So pathetic. And I don't know why people do it, and after that do it so badly as well. But it's a lot harder to cheat than you think, to not seem to not make people suspicious. It's pretty hard, I'm sure. It probably takes a lot of work. It's it's sad to say, but if you put that same amount of effort into actually trying to make yourself good at a game, I don't know. I mean, you might have a better result at the end of the day. I mean, but hey.
On another note, Microsoft is much closer to buying Activision Blizzard.
I think they already got approved for it.
Oh, really?
I think they're still being sued by the FTC. So I think
Who's still being sued?
They're suing to block the acquisition. The FTC is.
Okay.
European Union regulators on Monday approved Microsoft proposed $69 billion acquisition of gaming for Activision Blizzard.
Yeah, so
that was reported on the 15th.
They've been approved by Saudi Arabia, Brazil, China, Japan, South Africa, the Ukraine, the European Union.
Wow.
Some of the other
regulators. Holy crap.
Right now it's essentially the US is blocking it, and I want to say Great Britain's still blocking it, or England.
I wonder what reasoning they have to be blocking it.
Cloud gaming.
Oh, lovely.
Okay.
That's where everything is going.
Yeah. They're both saying it would put a big damper on the competitiveness in the cloud gaming market. So
So they would literally have a controlling advantage in the cloud gaming business. So they would almost be monopoly.
Yeah, exactly.
Almost oligopoly. What is it? Oligopoly status? Oligopoly, where you basically like there's other businesses, but they're so limited. You corner it's like you just look at them. You're literally like the 9 million chip stack, and everyone's short stack, and you're just like, yeah, go ahead, just give it up. It's pretty much like that would give them an oligopoly status, which is not good.
Yeah, but I think it's a crock of crap.
Whatever.
What do you mean?
Look, I mean, it's outside foundational control, honestly. So if it's gonna happen, the big companies are gonna be the deciding factor, not us.
Yeah.
And matter of fact, it's already trending. Jesus Christ.
I mean, the problem is that
Did you expect anything different if it wasn't?
the Microsoft's cloud gaming, while it is, I think, a big asset for them in a lot of ways, because I've used it multiple times on the Xbox over there, and it works fantastically. I think there's still Sony. It works with whatever that one company is. There's still the NVIDIA Shield or whatever that is, which is cloud gaming. There's still, I think, Amazon Lua. I think that's cloud gaming still. There's so many other nets in that market that
Yeah, but think about it right now. It's you'd be taking like World of Warcraft, Call of Duty, Diablo, StarCraft.
That's not what they're fighting. They're fighting, essentially, they have blocked it because of cloud gaming.
Just that period.
That is it. That is why the England's Competitive Markets Authority blocked it. Is because, I'm reading it right here. Buying Activision Blizzard will potentially give Microsoft's Xbox division too much power in the cloud gaming space.
So does that mean that they have cloud money? Is that what it is? That's why they're not allowing it.
But see, here's my question: isn't Steam considered cloud gaming as well?
No, because you have to. I think at least for most of the games, you have to download them. That's not cloud gaming. Cloud gaming is essentially you don't have to download the game and you literally play it from the cloud.
Oh, okay.
But the bad part is the next biggest cloud gaming partner or whatever, which is probably the NVIDIA Shield, already said they're fine with it. Because
I've never tried the cloud because I don't have any consoles or anything like that. But how is it? What is it like? It's like a CD type thing, or?
Wow.
No,
it's gone. I am pissed. I'm done. Oh my god.
What's gone?
Wait, what?
I'm to get up and leave. Activision sent the developers of SM2, which was going to be a revamp project of Modern Warfare 2, done by independent developers, and they're now shutting it down.
Activision sent a cease and desist.
Oh, I can't.
What?
Right now.
Why? Why are you surprised? They're using another company's IP to create a game. That's not allowed.
It's burning a major potential bridge. They could have.
No, because then they can do it themselves if they so choose.
Okay. They can't take any of that development. You're telling me they can take all of that development?
Yes. Because it was built on their IP. Yes.
So they're going to take all of that development and then
they're probably
That's
they're probably not. No. because
Here-
they don't care.
Here's
That's my point.
here's my opinion. Here's my opinion on the matter.
Crazy. That's so
This is. I hate to use the word. Oh my God, it just makes me ill just to say the word. This is all political. This is all political
Well,
crap.
yeah,
Well, yeah, it is.
This is somebody. This is somebody saying, okay, we're gonna put a block here because we're so worried about what
I really need my hot
they're gonna do as far as if we ever have, you know, uh, internet espionage. Well, if we have an internet espionage, it's gonna happen if we know it or not. What they don't realize is they're also taking away. They want everyone to communicate, and they want everyone to be frou-frou and flowery and talk to people and everything else. And what's the best way to do it? Playing games with other people in other countries. Nothing I enjoy doing is racing against other people in other countries. Especially during when COVID happened. It was great to talk to people while you were racing, and you'd ask them.
Well, it was nice to talk to people. Period. I think he was just.
Exactly. And that's what they're doing. They're taking it away. They're taking it away. It was like they want it, and then they're like, no, we're taking it back. So they're playing Indian givers. They told us all we were going to have a wonderful world. And we were all like, yay, we love this. And then they were like, no, we're going to take some of this back.
For real. This is
That there's a lot that I could get me going on that particular topic road. I'm gonna be good because I'm not a nice person when it comes to that.
I'm sorry I opened Pandora's box.
No. I mean,
no, just kidding.
I'm not political either, so it doesn't really matter. It's just
say it. That's usually what people
yeah.
say what it is.
No, I'm.
Yeah, just, that's not what I'm doing.
I don't vote because I figure I'm voting for the biggest corporation that owns the president. So that's
I hate quoting, but I remember going to, and I only had to say it because Rockwell Fest recently happened here in Daytona over the weekend. But I remember going a couple years ago, and I finally got to. Long story short, I finally got to see a band I had on my bucket list. I saw Slipknot.
okay.
And I remember one thing that Corey said between songs. He says, he says you can't take sides. He says you got the left side that's dumb as fuck, and you got the right side that's dumb as fuck. He goes,
Ain't no truer words.
He says, but there's no plan of action. He says it's your job to take your own initiative and create your own opinions on what's really going on.
Well, that's like in life, period. I mean, I feel like
Yeah,
not enough people
yeah.
make their own opinions. A lot of people are more followers than actually make their own opinions. Or, like the thing is, this day and age, you have to listen to both sides, and then, like you just said, make your opinion. But the thing is, nobody does that. Everybody just sticks to whoever they like or whoever they're.
The thing that people need to understand is you can have your opinion, but doesn't mean I have to give a shit about what your opinion is.
Yeah, it's true.
That's true too.
There is a lot, especially going on in the U.S. I don't know how much of it's up there in Canada with the whole nonsense of the transgender movement and stuff like that. It's like, okay, and it's not trying to be mean to anyone, but I have never understood it because when I grew up, what they're claiming to be, somewhat normal now was a mental illness called gender dysphoria. And
Yep.
I mean, it's
just losing our civil liberties, just the whole trucker convoy thing. I think everybody had heard about it, how they were, if you were protesting, they actually froze your bank account.
Yes.
and you couldn't do anything. Here in
Ooh.
Canada, I was the person who didn't get the jab. I worked for the government. At the time, I couldn't even go grocery shopping. I couldn't leave the house. I wasn't allowed to legally. If I did go into a place, I can get a massive fine. Um, so I had to actually ask people to go and do anything for me. And I have 3 different like diseases that I have: liver disease, thyroid disease. So, anyways, I have to get pills and stuff, and I couldn't even go out to go get my own pills, my own subscriptions and stuff. So it was very hard when you're 27 years old at the time. You have to ask your parents to go out and buy you groceries and stuff like that because you're not even allowed because you didn't get the jab. It was quite unfortunate. And then afterwards, were working for the government. The employees that you work around, they all look at you a little weird. So, oh, we lost Road.
Oh no!
But anyways, on that segment, I guess we can end the podcast. It's been a little bit over 45 minutes. So
Yeah.
thanks for watching, everybody. Appreciate it. Maybe a little quick of an ending, but
It was a very quick ending, but it kind of needed to happen.
yeah, exactly. So cheers, everybody. Thanks for watching.
All right, thanks.